The cargo ship descended slowly through the red sky of Terran 6. Dust swirled across the wide plains as the engines roared. Inside the ship, a group of engineers waited for landing. Among them sat Rian, a quiet human with calm eyes and steady hands. He had spent years working with reactors and energy systems on different worlds. This time, his mission was to join a mixed research team of humans and aliens called the Velari. Terran 6 was a harsh world with sharp rocks, heavy winds, and glowing crystal fields that stretched for miles. Those crystals were rare. They stored energy that could power entire fleets if handled correctly. But they were also unstable. Only the Velari could work near them safely because their bodies gave off a special kind of energy that kept the crystals calm. Humans had tried before, but without the Velari, reactors always overheated or cracked. The ship landed near a cluster of silver domes. The research base stood strong against the planet's storms, built half underground for safety. When Rian stepped out, he felt the ground hum under his boots. The crystals buried beneath the surface gave the planet a faint vibration. A tall alien waited at the gate. Her skin was pale blue, faintly glowing. She had 4 short tendrils behind her head that shimmered when she moved. Her large eyes reflected light like smooth gems. Her name was Nira, one of the young Velari scientists assigned to help the human team. She smiled when she saw Rian, though to a human her expression looked strange, almost unreadable. "Human engineer Rian," she greeted, her voice soft but layered with an echo. "Welcome to Terran 6. I am Nira of the Velari Council. I will guide you to your quarters and lab." Rian nodded. "Thank you. I'm glad to be here." She tilted her head curiously. "You sound nervous." "First time working this close with Velari," he admitted. "I want to do things right." Her tendrils flicked with amusement. "Humans always worry too much about rules." "You will be fine as long as you do not explode anything." Rian wasn't sure if that was a joke, but her tone suggested it was. As they walked through the corridor, he noticed how the walls glowed faintly. The base was powered by the same crystals they were studying. Every Velari who passed gave off a gentle light that kept the hallways bright even without lamps. Humans used suits and shields, but the Velari didn't need them. Their energy field balanced the radiation that came from the crystals naturally. When Rian reached his lab, he found half of it already running. Machines hummed quietly. Screens showed energy readings from the nearby mines. Nira stood beside a floating table filled with crystal shards that pulsed like small hearts. "These are from mine section 4. She said. "They are young crystals." Still growing, Rian leaned closer to inspect one. "They look alive." "In a way they are," she said. "They respond to energy around them. Fear, anger, calmness, laughter. The Velari believe crystals are born from the memories of dying stars." "That's a poetic thought," Rian said. She looked at him with a bright glow. "Do humans not believe in such beauty?" He smiled slightly. "We believe in building things before they break." Nira gave a soft sound that might have been laughter. So serious. "You must be very fun at celebrations." He didn't answer. He was too focused on calibrating the tools. But Nira seemed to find his seriousness amusing. She often stayed near him, watching every move, sometimes asking questions about his human tools. Hours passed. Rian worked without rest. Nira finally said, "Do all humans work until their hands fall apart?" "I just like to finish what I start," he said. "Then you will never finish," she replied, her voice playful. "Science never ends." That was the first time Rian looked at her for more than a few seconds. Her glowing skin reflected off the polished metal of the lab. The gentle waves of light around her looked like mist floating in the air. She was beautiful in an alien way, not because of shape or form, but because she looked like living energy. Nira noticed his stare and teased, "Does my glow blind you, human?" Rian looked away quickly. "I was checking the light levels." "Of course you were," she said, clearly enjoying his discomfort. The next day, the joint team began studying the main reactor crystal. It was a massive core placed deep underground. Humans built the structure around it, while Velari maintained the balance. The combination of human technology and alien bioenergy made it possible to harness the crystal's power safely. Rian and Nira were assigned together again. She guided him through the readings while he checked stabilizers. She continued her light teasing, calling him serious human and asking why humans had such small eyes. Rian ignored her, though he sometimes smiled quietly when she turned away. During one test, Nira leaned over his shoulder to see the monitor. Her tendrils brushed lightly against his arm. She didn't mean anything by it. Among the Valar, such contact was common and harmless. But humans had never been in such close contact with Valari before. At that moment, a spark jumped between them. It was small at first, just a flicker of blue light that made both of them freeze. Then the air around them started to hum. The machines nearby began to shake. A sudden surge passed through the cables and the screens filled with warning signs. Rian pulled back fast. What was that? Nira looked at her glowing hand. I do not know. I only touched you for a second. The alarms in the room started to beep. The power meters went from stable to critical. The lights of the lab flickered. Rian ran to the main console and shouted into his communicator. Control, we have an energy spike in Lab 4. Systems are unstable, Control responded. We see it. The entire base is getting feedback from your section. What happened? Rian looked at Nira. She looked confused and frightened. Her natural glow had doubled. The crystal samples on the table vibrated and began to shine brighter, reacting to her energy. It's coming from her field, Rian said. Her energy output just increased massively. Nira tried to calm herself, breathing slowly. I am trying to lower it, but it will not stop. My energy feels strange, mixed with something else. Rian checked the readings again. It's mixed with human resonance. The systems are picking up a dual signal. What does that mean? It means we're connected somehow. That spark, it linked your bioenergy with my field. The lab door opened as other scientists rushed in. One human engineer shouted, "Step away from the equipment." Another Valari tried to approach, but the energy pulse pushed them back like a shockwave. Nira gasped. I did not mean for this. I was only teasing. Rian steadied himself. Forget that. Focus on controlling your energy. She closed her eyes, her glow fading slightly. The alarm slowed. The readings dropped a little, but stayed unstable. Rian could feel the vibration through the floor, deep and alive. The main reactor below the base was responding to whatever link now existed between them. The head researcher. Ash! A calm Valari elder named Cyril appeared on the screen. Rian, Nira, you must not separate. The system shows that your energy fields are linked to the main reactor's frequency. If you move too far apart, the reaction may worsen. So we're stuck like this? Rian asked. For now, yes, Cyril said. Remain close and stable. We will analyze the data. Nira looked at Rian, her bright eyes full of guilt. I only wanted to see if humans could sense Valari energy. I did not think this could happen. Rian sighed and tried to hide his frustration. Well, you found out the answer. Yes, humans can sense it, and it nearly blew up the lab. To his surprise, Nira gave a small laugh. Then at least we made progress. Her humor in such a moment caught him off guard, but he saw that it wasn't arrogance. It was how she handled fear with light teasing instead of panic. The base stayed on alert for the rest of the day. Engineers studied the readings. No one could fully explain how a human and a Valari could link energy fields. The Valari said such a bond could only happen between two of their kind, never with a human. But the data was clear. Rian and Nira were now sharing a pattern that pulsed in rhythm with the planet's crystal core. When they were finally allowed to rest, Nira sat quietly on the observation deck. The night sky of Terran Zix was filled with streaks of blue lightning that danced across the horizon. Rian stood near her, both of them feeling the soft vibration in the air that now seemed to follow their every movement. Nira said softly, I did not mean harm, Rian. Among my people, teasing is kindness. It helps us connect. I understand, he said. Humans have different ways. But next time, maybe warn me before connecting me to a planet-sized reactor. She gave another quiet laugh. I will try, serious human. He looked at the glowing planes beyond the glass. We need to find a way to undo this before something worse happens. She agreed. But maybe it happened for a reason. He glanced at her. You really think that? She nodded. Sometimes energy finds balance through accident. The hum in the air grew slightly louder, as if the planet itself was listening to them. Neither of them noticed that the crystals below the base began to glow brighter, pulsing gently with the same rhythm as their linked hearts. And so, what began as a harmless tease between two beings from different worlds quietly awakened a chain of events that would soon shake both species and change the course of human history on Terran Zix forever. The next morning on Terran Zix began with silence. The dust storms outside had calmed, and the pale sun rose slowly over the red plains. Inside the research base, people moved carefully, afraid of touching anything that might set off another surge. Every screen showed data from the night before. The strange link between Rian and Nira was still active, and the readings continued to confuse both human and Valari scientists. Rian sat in the lab, staring at the monitor. He had been awake all night trying to study the signal patterns. Every time he moved a few steps away from Nira, the readings spiked again. Every time she came closer, the system calmed slightly. It was as if the planet itself was forcing them to stay within a certain distance. Nira stood a few meters away, watching him. Her glow was softer now, like the light of a candle. She looked tired, her tendrils drooping. Valari didn't need as much rest as humans, but strong emotional energy drained them fast. The incident from yesterday had left her shaken. Rian finally spoke. The data still makes no sense. Your energy and mine shouldn't even connect. Our biology is too different. Nira nodded slowly. Valari energy reacts to emotions and natural resonance. Human energy is chemical and electrical. They are not supposed to merge. Yet here we are, Rian said. Linked like two circuits sharing one current. She smiled faintly. Maybe the universe decided we should be partners. He gave her a look. That's not funny. I was not joking, she said. The Valari believe accidents carry meaning. Rian rubbed his eyes. In science, accidents mean something went wrong. What? Nira tilted her head. In life, accidents often show hidden truth. Before Rian could answer, the lab door opened. A team of human scientists entered with scanning devices. The lead researcher, Dr. Laren, looked serious. We need to measure your joint frequency again. The base reactor is still unstable. Its pulse matches your combined energy pattern. Nira frowned. So the entire reactor is copying our link? Yes, Dr. Laren said. When you two connected, it sent a wave through the entire system. The crystal core now mirrors your biofields. If we can't control it, the energy buildup could reach a critical point. Rian crossed his arms. What are our options? Laren sighed. For now, you and Nira must stay near each other. If the link breaks suddenly, it could trigger an overload. Our technicians are trying to separate your frequencies safely, but it will take time. Nira looked at Rian, her expression uneasy. You mean we are trapped together? Laren nodded. Until we find a solution? Yes. Rian tried to stay calm. He had worked with dangerous reactors before, but being personally tied to one through another being's energy was something completely new. He wasn't afraid for himself, but he feared what might happen to the base and everyone in it if they made one wrong move. When the researchers left, Nira sat on a nearby stool, her glow flickering. I did not wish for this, she said softly. I only wanted to make you smile. Rian paused his work and looked at her. You're serious? Yes, she said. You always looked so distant. Among my people, teasing is a way to bring warmth. I did not think a simple touch could cause such chaos. Rian sighed, then smiled faintly. Well, you definitely got my attention. Her tendrils twitched in surprise. Then she laughed lightly. Perhaps that is progress. The next few hours passed slowly. The base staff ran more tests, but every time they tried to separate the signals, the energy readings spiked again. The reactor below them pulsed like a living heart. in perfect rhythm with the strange bond between Rian and Naira. By midday, the command center called them both in. The Valari elder Sorel appeared again on the main screen, her calm voice echoing through the room. Rian, Naira, we have studied the readings. Your link has formed a resonance loop that includes the reactor core. It is growing stronger. Rian frowned. Growing stronger? How? Your emotional states affect the connection, Sorel said. The more emotion you feel, the more energy flows through the link. Naira's eyes widened. Then our fear or anger could make it worse. Exactly, Sorel said. You must remain calm and balanced at all times. Rian gave a dry laugh. You're telling me to stay calm while tied to a planet-sized bomb? Sorel smiled gently. Yes. Consider it an exercise in patience. The screen went dark. Naira turned to him and said, We should practice control together. Control? He asked. Yes, she said. Valari learned to guide their energy through breathing and focus. You can try to match my rhythm. She stood in front of him, closed her eyes, and took a slow, deep breath. Her body glowed softly with every inhale, then dimmed as she exhaled. The air around her seemed to pulse gently in time with her breathing. Rian hesitated, then copied her movements. He inhaled slowly, feeling the vibration of the floor through his boots. He exhaled, trying to match her calm pace. After a few moments, the soft hum in the air steadied. The monitors nearby began to show lower energy levels. It's working, he said. Naira smiled with relief. See, we are learning to balance together. For the first time, Rian felt a faint warmth spread through his chest. It wasn't heat from the air or the machines. It was a strange sense of connection. The energy link wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He could feel hints of her calmness, like soft waves washing through his mind. Naira opened her eyes. You feel it too, don't you? Yes, he admitted. It's strange. Peaceful, though, she nodded. That is the harmony state. When Tevelari share emotion in balance, energy flows smoothly. And maybe that's the key to stopping the overload, he said. If we can keep it stable, the reactor might stop fluctuating. They spent the rest of the day practicing together. They walked around the base, always staying close, syncing their breathing whenever the readings began to rise. The other researchers watched carefully, taking notes. The humans were amazed at how emotional control could affect energy systems. The Valari were equally surprised that a human could adapt so quickly to their methods. By evening, the base atmosphere felt calmer. The lights no longer flickered, and the warning alarms had gone silent. Rian and Naira sat together in the observation dome, watching the distant glow of the crystal fields. The planet looked peaceful again. Naira glanced at him. You learn fast, human. Had a good teacher, he said. Her tendrils lifted slightly. Do humans often compliment their teachers? Only when they keep us from dying, he replied. She laughed, the sound soft and melodic. Then, I am glad I could help. Rian looked out the window again. You know, back on Earth, I worked with machines my whole life. I never thought feelings could power anything. Naira tilted her head. Everything in the universe runs on feeling. Even stars are born from the pull of attraction. He smiled at her words. You sound like a philosopher. I am a scientist, she said. But science and feeling are not enemies. Before Rian could answer, the intercom beeped. Dr. Laren's voice came through sharply. Rian, Naira, report to the main lab immediately. We have a problem. They hurried back to the lab. When they arrived, the large monitor showed the base reactor's core glowing brighter than before. Energy waves rippled out from it in bursts. Laren pointed at the data. Something changed. The reactor is drawing power from your link again, but the pattern is no longer stable. Naira's glow flickered nervously. We were calm. We did not lose balance. That's the strange part, Laren said. The reactor seems to be reacting to a new signal, something deeper in the planet's crystal bed. The link between you might have opened a path to a buried energy source. Rian stepped closer to the screen. So we woke up something under the surface. Possibly, Laren said, and it's feeding on your combined resonance. The floor trembled slightly. Small vibrations ran through the walls. The lights dimmed and brightened again. Alarms began to sound as energy levels rose sharply. Rian turned to Nira. "We have to do something." Nira closed her eyes, trying to calm herself, but her glow only grew brighter. "It's not working. The connection is too strong now." "Then maybe we need to go to the reactor chamber," Rian said. "If we can get close to the core, maybe we can stabilize it directly." Alaran hesitated. "That's dangerous. The energy field there is unstable." "It's already unstable," Rian said firmly. "If we wait, the whole base might blow." Nira met his eyes and nodded. "I will go with you. We caused this together. We will fix it together." Laren finally agreed. "Fine, but you'll need containment suits. The radiation near the core is rising fast." Within minutes, Rian and Nira were inside the heavy suits. Standing in the elevator that descended deep into the reactor chamber, the ride was silent except for the hum of the machinery. The closer they got, the stronger the vibration became. The walls glowed faintly with pulsing blue light from the massive crystal heart below. When the doors opened, they stepped out into a wide chamber filled with energy streams twisting through the air like ribbons. At the center stood the reactor, a towering pillar of crystal surrounded by metal supports. Its light flickered in time with Nira's glow. Rian looked around in awe. "It's alive. It's part of the planet," Nira said. "It feels everything that happens on Terran Zix." He approached the control console. "Let's try to focus again. If we can match our breathing and stay calm, maybe we can bring it down." They stood side by side, hands resting on the console. Their heartbeats began to synchronize. The light from Nira's body merged with the glow of the reactor. The readings on the screen shifted slowly downward. For a moment it worked. The pulse of the reactor chamber was filled with swirling light. The giant crystal heart pulsed wildly, and the sound of deep vibration rolled through the air like thunder. Rian and Nira stood side by side, both covered in the glow of mixed energy. The base alarm screamed across every level as the scientists above tried to understand. What was happening? Rian gritted his teeth as the control screen flickered. "The power output is rising again. We are losing control." Nira clutched her chest. Her body flickered with waves of light that shifted between blue and white. "The other energy under the planet is reacting to us. It feels alive, angry even." He looked at her through the glass of his suit helmet. "Can you still control your pulse?" She shook her head. "It is too strong now. I can feel its rhythm beating through mine." The floor trembled. Cracks appeared around the metal supports holding the reactor in place. Energy sparks filled the chamber. The main systems began shutting down to prevent overload, but the crystal core did not stop. It was as if something deep within Terran Zix had awakened, and was now pulling on their shared link like a living chain. Rian moved closer to Nira and held her shoulders firmly. "Focus on me. Not on the energy. Not on the fear. Just breathe with me." She tried to match his breathing, her glow flickering in time with his heart. The vibrations slowed slightly. The readings on the control screen dipped for a few seconds before rising again. It was enough to keep the core from exploding, but not enough to calm it completely. Through the communication link, Dr. Laren's voice shouted from above. "Rian, get out of there. The readings are unstable. If the core breaches, the entire base will go with it." Rian ignored the warning. "If we leave now, the chain reaction will spread through the whole planet. We stay until it stabilizes." Nira looked up at him. Her eyes glowed softly. "You would stay and risk your life for this?" He smiled faintly. "Humans don't give up when something's broken. We fix it." Her tendrils lifted slightly. "Your kind is strange. You fear nothing." "It's not true," he said. "I fear losing people who don't deserve to be lost." Her expression softened. "Then we will fix this together." They focused again, breathing in sync. Slowly, the reactor's light dimmed to a steady rhythm. The danger seemed to pass, at least for the moment. When the tremor stopped, Rian exhaled deeply. Nira looked around, her glow now calm and even. "You did it," she said quietly. "You balanced the field." He shook his head. "We did it. Both of us." The containment field stabilized for now, but the entire base was still on alert. When they reached the surface level, Rian removed his helmet and took a deep breath. The air smelled of dust and metal, but it felt good to breathe freely again. Nira followed him out of the elevator. Her glow was faint now, but her presence still felt warm. The other Valari in the hallway looked at her with concern. One of them asked, "Are you hurt, Nira?" "I am fine," she said softly. "The human helped me control the link." Rian noticed how they all looked at him differently now. There was no hostility, only curiosity. The Valari were a peaceful species, but they rarely showed much emotion toward humans. Now, many of them bowed their heads slightly, a gesture of respect in their culture. Dr. Laren met them near the lab. "That was reckless, Rian, but it might have saved us. The readings show the core is stabilizing, though still linked to your shared frequency." Rian nodded. "We need to understand this bond better. If we can control it, maybe we can use it to strengthen the reactors instead of destroying them." Nira looked at him. "You think this could be something good?" "It might be," he said. "If we treat it like a bridge, not a barrier." Laren folded his arms. "We'll run tests, but for now, both of you need rest." The connection seemed stable enough for a few hours. They were led to the medical wing for scans. Machines surrounded them, humming softly. The doctors studied their readings and confirmed that their energy patterns were now synchronized. Every time Rian's heartbeat changed, Nira's light pulsed to match it. They were no longer just two separate beings. Their systems had adapted to each other. When the doctors left, Rian sat on the edge of the bed. Nira sat beside him, her tendrils flicking gently. "You still look worried," she said. "I'm thinking," he replied. "If our emotions affect the reactor, we need to stay calm all the time. That's not easy." She smiled faintly. "Valari children learn balance by meditating under storm winds. Maybe you can try that." He laughed lightly. "Sounds peaceful." "It is not peaceful," she said. "The wind hurts, the dust burns, but you learn to stand tall." He nodded slowly. "I can see why your people are strong." Her glow brightened. "And I can see why humans never stop building. You keep going even when things fall apart." He sat quietly for a while, listening to the faint hum of the machines. It was strange for Rian to feel calm around someone so different, but the energy link made it easier. He could sense her emotions like soft waves brushing his mind. There was no fear there anymore, only curiosity and warmth. Later that night, as the base grew quiet, they walked together through the observation deck. Outside, the sky shimmered with streaks of blue lightning that danced across the plains. The crystal fields below glowed faintly, pulsing in the same rhythm as the reactor. Nira touched the glass wall gently. Terran 6 is beautiful when calm. The crystals sing softly when the storms sleep. Nira looked at her. "You can hear them?" "Yes," she said. "The sound is not like human hearing. It is felt inside. Every pulse tells a story." He listened carefully, and though he could not hear what she described, he felt something faint in his chest, a vibration that matched his own heartbeat. The link between them let him feel the rhythm of the planet through her senses. "That's incredible," he whispered. She smiled. "Now you feel it too. You are becoming a little Valari," he chuckled. "Let's hope I don't start glowing next." Her tendrils swayed. "Perhaps a small glow would suit you." They shared a quiet laugh. But beneath the light humor, both knew the situation was still serious. The link was unpredictable, and one wrong move could cause another surge. Yet neither could deny that the connection was also something extraordinary, something that had never happened before between human and Valari. The next morning, the scientists gathered again in the main lab. They projected images of energy waves across a large screen. The data showed the synchronized pattern between Rian and Nira extending deep into the reactor core. What surprised them most was that the energy lines seemed to reach even deeper. Far beneath the surface of TAREN-6.SERL, the Valari elder pointed to the lower layers of the map. This area was never mapped before. It seems the planet holds a buried network of ancient crystals that respond to emotion-based energy. Your bond has awakened them. Rian studied the image. If that's true, the planet itself might be alive in some way. Nira nodded. Valari legends say Terran Zix was once a sleeping spirit. Maybe we have disturbed its dream. Cyril turned to them. If the deeper crystals become unstable, they could cause tremors across the entire planet. We must find a way to quiet them. Brienne looked at Nira. Then we go down there. If our link reached that deep, maybe we can use it to calm the energy directly. Cyril hesitated. It will be dangerous. The lower mines are unstable. Nira stood straight. We started this. We must be the ones to finish it, Rian agreed. We'll go together. Small team prepared an expedition to the lower tunnels. The path led through miles of crystal caverns, glowing with dim light. The air shimmered with energy. As they walked, the vibration through the ground grew stronger. Rian could feel it through his boots like the heartbeat of something. Massive sleeping below Nyara stopped and placed her hand on a crystal wall. It feels afraid. Rian frowned. Afraid? Yes, she said. The deeper layers are reacting to confusion and fear. The link between us woke them, but they do not understand what we are. He touched the wall beside her hand. Then we show them peace. She closed her eyes, focusing her energy. Her glow spread across the wall like a wave of soft blue light. Rian matched her breathing again. Slowly, his presence joined hers through the link. The crystals pulsed in response, and the vibration in the ground eased slightly. For a few moments, everything seemed calm. Then, without warning, a deep rumble shook the entire tunnel. A section of the ceiling cracked and fell, scattering shards of glowing crystal. The team ducked, shielding themselves from the blast of light. When the dust cleared, Rian and Nira stood together in the center. The crystals around them were now pulsing rapidly. A large fissure had opened in the ground, revealing a hidden chamber below filled with swirling energy. Rian stared down into the light. We found it. The source. Nira's eyes widened. It is not just energy. It is an ancient heart. Inside the chamber below, a massive crystal formation pulsed slowly, each beat sending waves through the planet. It was older than the base, older than both species. Its glow matched perfectly with their combined frequency. Rian looked at Nira. If this is connected to us, we might be the only ones who can reach it safely. She nodded. Then we must go. The balance of the planet depends on it. As they descended toward the glowing heart of Terran Zix, the air shimmered around them. The energy link pulsed stronger than ever. Both could feel each other's thoughts, clearer now, calm trust and determination flowing between them. The hidden chamber below Terran Zix glowed with a strange, powerful light. The massive crystal heart pulsed steadily, sending ripples through the cavern like waves in water. Every step Rian and Nira took caused the light to flicker. The deeper they went, the stronger the energy became, and the bond between them thrummed with it. Each heartbeat, each breath, sent small pulses into the chamber, and the chamber responded as if alive. Rian took a deep breath, his eyes scanning the glowing formations around them. This is incredible, he said quietly. It's like the planet itself is awake. Nira's tendrils twitched nervously. It is awake, and it is aware of us. The link between us has reached it, but it does not understand our purpose yet. If we do not approach carefully, it may react violently. Rand nodded. Then we move slowly and we focus on calm. We cannot let fear drive the reaction. They continued forward, each step careful. The energy waves grew stronger, wrapping around their linked resonance like invisible threads. Nira's glow brightened with each pulse, reflecting the intensity of the crystal heart. Rian felt the vibrations through his suit, steady rhythm that matched his own heartbeat. Suddenly, a tremor ran through the ground. Small crystals along the walls cracked and fell, scattering light shards across the floor. The energy around them surged violently. Rian grabbed Nira's arm to steady her. "Hold on," he shouted. "We need to focus now more than ever." Nira closed her eyes, her glow flaring brighter. She reached out with her mind and energy, trying to synchronize with Rian. Slowly, the surge slowed, and the pulses of the crystal heart became rhythmic again. The immediate danger had passed. They could feel the deeper energy beneath them awakening further. "The main crystal is responding to our emotions," Nira said, her voice tense. "If we panic, It will react violently. We must stay calm and linked. Rian took a deep breath and placed a hand on his chest. Then let's do it. Trust me. Focus on me. Nira nodded. They synchronized their breathing, in and out, slowly and evenly. The glow of Nira's body became steady, like a soft river of light. Rian felt the warmth of her presence, a quiet strength that helped him remain calm even in the middle of the glowing chaos above them. In the base, Dr. Laren watched the monitors nervously. Their connection is holding the reactor, he said. But the energy levels are spiking in the lower layers. That chamber is responding to every change they make. If the link fails, the entire planet's energy network could collapse. In the hidden chamber, the ground trembled again, stronger than before. Large shards of crystal rose like jagged teeth from the floor, pulsating violently. The light flared brightly, blinding, as if the planet was testing them. Rian could feel the intensity of the energy pushing through his body. He glanced at Nira. Her tendrils flared outward, her glow almost unbearable to look at. "You can do this," he said firmly. "I can feel your strength. Focus it with me. We control this together." Nira nodded, exhaling slowly. "I will try. Do not let go of the link. Trust me." Rian reached out, touching her hand gently. As soon as contact was made, the surges slowed slightly. Their combined energy began to harmonize, creating a steady flow that the crystal heart seemed to respond to. The vibrations in the ground became rhythmic. The shards of crystal stopped rising violently. "We're stabilizing it," Rian said. "Keep going." They moved closer to the center of the chamber, guided by the soft pulsing of the largest crystal at the heart. It was enormous, taller than a building, with layers of energy flowing like streams within it. The core's light mirrored their bond perfectly. Every time they adjusted their focus, the pulses matched their rhythm. Nira's voice was steady now. "The deeper energy is testing us. It senses our emotions. If we falter, it will push back." Rian concentrated. He could feel her heart beat through the link. He could sense her fear and determination, but it no longer overwhelmed him. He mirrored her focus, and their shared calm began to influence the chamber. "Almost there," he said. "We need to reach the central pulse and stabilize it completely." As they approached, a sudden surge erupted from the core. Light flared in all directions, and the air hummed loudly. Rian was thrown slightly backward by the force, but Nira caught him with her arm. Her glow blazed, and the energy around her became protective, forming a barrier against the surging waves. "You are strong," she said through the link. "Do not let go now." Rian nodded. He took a deep breath, letting their combined energy flow through him. He extended his hand toward the core. Nira did the same, and their light merged with the crystal's glow. The energy around them shifted, flowing into a harmonic rhythm. The surges slowed. The tremors ceased. The chamber became calm, the pulse of the crystal heart steady. "It worked," Rian whispered. "We did it," Nira smiled faintly. "For now, but there is more. The deeper layers are not fully awake yet. We may have stabilized the immediate pulse, but the network beneath the planet is vast. We must continue carefully." Rian nodded. "Then we go step by step. We maintain the link, and we move forward together." The chamber around them seemed to respond. Light flowed in patterns that matched their movements. The massive crystal heart's glow dimmed slightly, reflecting the harmony between their combined energy and the planet's pulse above ground. Dr. Laren and the team watched in awe. "I've never seen anything like this," Laren said. "They are not just controlling the reactor, they are interacting with the planet itself." The Valari scientists were equally amazed. "This is unprecedented," one of them said. "A human and a Valari synchronizing their energy to calm the ancient crystal network. It has never happened in our history." In the chamber, Rian and Nira continued to move toward the deeper heart of the energy network. Each step required careful synchronization. Any sudden emotional spike could destabilize the flow. They learned to anticipate each other's movements, their bond growing stronger with every pulse. "You are steady," Nira said quietly. "I can feel your focus. It helps me control my energy." "You are amazing," Rian replied. I have never felt anything like this. You make it easier to stay calm, she smiled faintly. Then we must continue together. The deeper layers await us. They descended further into the hidden chamber, the air thick with energy. The pulses of the deeper crystals were slower, but stronger. Each one had a mind of its own, responding to their presence and emotions. The vibrations were like a heartbeat, powerful enough to shake the floor and walls. As they approached the largest crystal, the vibrations intensified. The chamber walls began to crack slightly under the force. Rian reached for Nira's hand again. Their light merged, forming a protective aura around them. The crystal pulsed violently, but their combined focus kept it steady. This is the final test, Nira said softly. We must give it everything we have. The link between us must remain unbroken. Rian nodded. Then let's do it. Together. They placed their hands on the massive crystal. The energy surged through them, powerful and overwhelming. Rian could feel Nira's energy intertwining with his own. Their emotions, thoughts, and focus became one with the crystal. The pulse of the planet's hidden heart began to match their rhythm. Slowly, the violent surges calmed. The chamber tremors stopped. The light softened to a steady glow, reflecting perfect harmony. Rian and Nira stood side by side, exhausted but stable. They had synchronized their energy with the planet's hidden crystal network. Nira whispered, "We did it." "The pulse is steady." Rian smiled faintly. "We did it together." The chamber was silent now, except for the gentle hum of the crystal heart. Their bond had grown stronger than ever. The planet's hidden energy network was finally calm as they rested. Rian realized that their connection was no longer just about preventing disaster. It was a bond of trust, understanding, and shared strength. He could feel Nira's calm and determination as clearly as his own heartbeat. Nira looked at him with a soft glow. "You are different from any human I have met. You do not give up. You do not fear what others cannot understand." "And you," Rian replied, "are unlike any alien I have met. You are strong, kind, and capable of controlling power that could destroy everything." They shared a quiet moment, the glow from their combined energy reflecting in the walls of the chamber. The crisis had passed, but their bond had deepened in a way that neither of them expected above ground. The team cheered quietly at the monitors. The reactors were stable, and the readings showed the planet's hidden energy network calm and in harmony. The combined efforts of human and Valari had prevented a catastrophe and created a new understanding of Terran Zix's ancient power. Rian and Nira emerged from the chamber, exhausted but triumphant. The glow around them had faded slightly, but the sense of connection remained. They had faced the crisis together, and their bond had proven stronger than any challenge the planet could throw at them. Now looked at Rian. "We saved this place. Together." Rian nodded. "And we learned something important. That sometimes, working together can achieve what no one thought possible." The base around them returned to normal operations, but the bond they shared would never be the same. They had faced the pulse of a living planet and survived, and in doing so, had proven that humans and Valari could not only coexist, but thrive together. The glow from the hidden crystal chamber faded slowly as Rian and Nira emerged into the upper tunnels of the base. Their suits were dusty, their hands still linked from the powerful connection that had calmed the planet's hidden energy network. The vibrations beneath Terran 6 had returned to a steady hum, soft and peaceful, like the rhythm of a living heartbeat. Rian looked around. "I can't believe it. We actually did it. The planet. It's calm now." Nira's glow pulsed faintly, reflecting her relief. "Yes, for the first time in centuries, the hidden layers are at rest. Your presence, combined with mine, gave it balance." Above ground, Dr. Laren and the other scientists monitored the readings with astonishment. "The lower crystal networks are stable," Laren said quietly. "All systems show a steady frequency." They did it. Srel, the Valari elder, appeared on the screen. Her calm eyes were full of admiration. "Rian, Nira, your bond has achieved what no human or Valari has ever done before. You have not only stabilized the reactor, but also awakened a new understanding of Terran 6's ancient energy." Rian nodded slowly, feeling both pride and exhaustion. It was not just me. Nira guided me through every step. Nira's tendrils flicked gently, and you remained calm even when I could not. Together, we balanced what neither of us could alone. The base staff began repairing minor damages from the earlier tremors. Broken crystal shards were collected, the tunnels reinforced, and the reactor systems checked. Every engineer, human and Valari alike, was curious about the bond between Rian and Nira. They had seen something extraordinary, two different species, linked by energy and emotion, controlling a planet's heartbeat. That evening, the base held a small ceremony in the observation deck. The red sky of Terran Zix was peaceful, and the crystal plains below reflected soft light and waves across the horizon. Rian and Nira stood together at the center. Their hands brushed lightly, and though they no longer needed to stay connected for the energy, the bond remained a quiet presence between them. Cyril spoke to them through the display. The human ability to adapt to Valari energy is remarkable. Your connection has opened new possibilities. The crystals respond not only to Valari energy, but now to combined resonance with humans. Rian looked at Nira. Does that mean humans could work safely on Terran 6 from now on? Yes, she said softly. With proper guidance and focus, humans can contribute to maintaining the reactors and crystals. Your species has potential we never imagined. Rian smiled faintly. Then maybe we'll make a good team. Nira's glow brightened slightly. We already have. The planet itself knows it. The next few days were spent in study and observation. The link between Rian and Nira remained strong, though now more stable. Scientists ran careful experiments, observing how their combined energy could influence minor fluctuations in the crystal fields. Even small shifts in their breathing or heartbeat could be mirrored by the crystals below, allowing for fine control. Rian marveled at the speed at which Nira adapted him to the process. I never thought energy could be so alive, he said. It's like it responds to intent, not just force. Nira nodded. That is how the Valari have always known the crystals. They are alive in ways humans do not yet understand. You brought something new a mind capable of learning, adjusting, and balancing in ways even I did not expect. He looked at her, a hint of amusement in his tired eyes. So my seriousness is actually useful? Her tendrils flicked with amusement. It is useful when combined with focus and courage. Without it, we might have failed. The base slowly returned to normal operations. Humans were now allowed to approach the surface crystal fields under strict supervision, and Valari technicians continued guiding the adjustments. Rian became the human specialist, training others to work alongside Valari energy safely. But Rian and Nira's personal bond continued to grow beyond work. The link they had formed in crisis was no longer just about survival. It had become a quiet, unspoken connection. When they stood near each other, their energy fields synchronized naturally. Their thoughts and feelings flowed through the bond, allowing them to communicate without words at times. One evening, they walked along the crystal plains. The ground vibrated gently beneath their feet, a soft reminder of the planet's pulse. The light from the crystals reflected in their eyes, and for a moment, the world felt serene. Nira spoke softly. Do you feel it? The planet's calm. The harmony we helped create? Rian nodded. I feel it, and it feels like trust. Her tendrils brushed his arm lightly. Yes, trust is part of harmony. You taught me that even humans so different from Valari can create balance. He smiled. And you taught me that even beings from another world can guide someone through chaos. For a while, they walked in silence, letting the soft hum of the crystals surround them. They did not need to speak. Their presence, their synchronized energy, and their shared experience were enough. Back at the base, the leadership held a council to discuss the future. Sorel addressed both humans and Valari. The incident has taught us a new lesson. The combined resonance of species can achieve what single species cannot. We will explore these possibilities carefully, learning from Rian and Nira's example. Laren nodded. We have seen that cooperation, trust, and understanding are as powerful as technology. Humans and Valari together can maintain and enhance the crystal network safely. Rian looked at Nira during the meeting. She met his gaze with quiet warmth. In that moment, both knew that the bond they shared was unique and unbreakable. It was born in crisis, but strengthened by courage and understanding. Days turned into weeks, and life on Terran 6 slowly stabilized. The base functioned smoothly, reactors operated safely, and the crystal fields pulsed gently in harmony with the combined human and Valari energy. Rian and Nira continued to work together, training others and monitoring the planet's pulse. The link between them remained strong, but no longer dangerous. It was now a tool, a shared strength, a quiet bond that reminded them of the challenge they had faced and overcome. One night, as they stood on the observation deck, the red sky reflecting the crystal plains below, Nira turned to Rian. "Do you ever think about what would have happened if we had failed?" Rian took her hand gently. "I don't want to, because we didn't fail. And because now we know we can handle what comes next together." Her glow pulsed softly, brighter than usual. "You are calm, even in the face of disaster. It is a rare human gift," Nirian said, "are brave beyond measure. You guided me when I had no idea what to do." They smiled at each other, the hum of the planet and the soft glow of the crystals surrounding them. In that quiet moment, the chaos of the past was behind them, replaced by a shared sense of purpose and trust. The next day, Rian helped another human trainee synchronize with Nira's guidance. Watching them, he realized how much had changed, not just on Terran 6, but in himself. He had faced fear, chaos, and the unknown, and had learned to trust and cooperate with someone utterly alien. The experience had strengthened him, sharpened his mind, and opened his heart to new possibilities. Nira observed quietly, her glow steady. She had never imagined that a human could become such a steady partner, someone whose energy could merge with hers and hold balance in the face of overwhelming force. She felt a deep respect for him, and a quiet warmth she had not expected to feel. Months passed. Terran 6's crystal networks became a model of cooperation. Humans and Valari worked together, learning from one another, using their combined energy to power the base safely and explore the planet's hidden potential. The world had changed because two beings dared to trust one another in the middle of catastrophe. Rian and Nira often walked together, their hands brushing, their thoughts linked by the quiet pulse of energy that had once threatened the base, but now represented harmony and understanding. They shared quiet conversations, laughter, and moments of reflection on what they had faced. One evening, as the twin sons of Terran 6 set over the plains, Nira turned to Rian. "You taught me something important, human. Strength is not in power alone. It is in trust, focus, and cooperation." Rian smiled. "And you taught me that even in chaos, understanding and harmony can create something extraordinary." They stood together in silence, the red sky above and the glowing plains below. Feeling the gentle pulse of the planet through the crystals and through their bond, they had faced disaster, controlled forces greater than themselves, and forged a connection that transcended species. The future of Terran 6 was bright. Humans and Valari now had a shared understanding, a model of cooperation that could change the galaxy. And at the heart of that change was a human and an alien linked by energy, trust, and courage. Two beings would face the unimaginable and emerge stronger together as the stars began to shine above the horizon. Rian looked at Nira. "Whatever comes next, we face it together." Nira's glow pulsed softly in agreement. Together. And with that, the planet of Terran 6 hummed peacefully, its hidden heart calm, its crystal fields glowing gently, and a new era of harmony and understanding, beginning thanks to a human and a Valari who had dared to trust one another when the world itself threatened to fall apart. The bond that had once caused chaos now represented hope, courage, and the extraordinary possibilities of working together, proof that even across worlds, cooperation, trust, and understanding could create miracles.